Now then, this is going to be me reviewing the global update alongside leaks for global things and global exclusive, I guess you could say, stuff coming. Now, the full update's out, right? There was a problem with the charge game mode, but we could see everything that's out day one, so that's great. Now, I do want to mention one little thing before we really hop into it, where William, okay, as of right now, kind of mid, okay. But Mono Blue just got a huge buff with Dots being buffed, okay. Nozel got a buff where when now you can apply poison 3 times, and Shock also got buffed. So Shock obviously with Luck and William together works very well. Now when there's 3 shocks applied, it applies SP -8 on the enemy that has 3 shocks. And for poison, when you apply 3 poisons, it applies 50% mobility reduction. So William long term is going to be worth it if you want to build up Mono Blue, but it will take a good amount of investment. You would need to get Luck at Duke 2. You would need to have William, right? You would need to have Nozel in the future. And Zora. So like it's pretty rough, but if you manage to do it, it's gonna be good if you want to have fun with it. Obviously, it gets very close to when actually, yeah, it gets a bit too close to when Valkyrie Noir would release. But up to you, right? For right now, there's a bunch of stuff coming out. I'm posting everything I can, but bro, I think there's like 3 events, 2 new game modes, like so much stuff, too much stuff. I'm trying to compact it into all these little different videos for you guys to watch as I can, but it's so much information. I might have to make a full video explaining all the content coming to, well, Global and JP respectively on the 1st anniversary. So yeah, those are the new units. Great, love to see it. Now in Arena, we have the new random arena. Okay, I'm not really going to touch it. If you want to have fun with new types of stuff, you can go ahead. Basically, it applies 2 different units on each team. Okay, it seems without gear. Looking at it, it seems that it's without any gear. I don't really care right now, but basically, it's going to randomly pick. Oh my god. It's going to randomly pick one of the 2 units in each slot, and then between those 2 slots, you fight with the one that they randomly picked. That's it. So, the rewards are nothing crazy. You get some stamina. That's it. Okay, you don't have to play. If you want to play, you play for fun. That's it. Okay, so it's a nice little chill game mode that they added. Okay, nothing too crazy. I honestly think it's pretty whatever, right? That's out of the way. Now let's go through everything else that they have added. So in event, we could get a good idea of what's out right now. So we've got the new banners, obviously. We've got World Boss and Charge. Those are the 2 main limited events. Now, right now we got a Bouquet event, which is going to be giving a very, very fire, skin at the end, actually. So I think going for it would not be bad. But even at 9, you get a +2 speed or whatever you want. So that's honestly going to be very, very big. You can also get an LR gear with even upgraded gear pieces now that they made the little distinctions with the gear, so it's like very nice for that. Now these are the missions, nothing too crazy. Now obviously the new chapter's out, starting the Royal Knights arc, so that's very cool. The random arena burning time is actually very nice. What, 600,000 gold and 3 LR gear choices. So for new players, like the new player experience is slowly getting better for LR gear, and I really do like that because you'd be able to get like 3 of these gear pieces if you played this 30 times. So I am very happy about that. Now the world boss, you get, oh, what the fuck? That's insanely good. Sorry, I was not expecting that. Definitely do your world boss. Let's just say that. We're going to go more into it. Now, we got the new charge game mode, which we're going to go over. The 2 things that they added this update has been a bit disappointing. The things that I was excited about has been a bit disappointing, but still fine enough for me. Fun-wise, I think it's good. And what they added is actually healthy for the game, in my opinion. But overall, I think it was a bit of a disappointment. Now, the good thing is we have leaks to go off of, which skip to that part if you want to. Now, mileage was added. Unfortunately, they added the Mariel skin in here, I think, from what I heard. Did they? Yeah. 300 bucks for that Mariel skin. Unfortunate. It's very nice. I mean, let's go and check it out. We're going to get it tomorrow, and I'm... Oh, man. It's so nice. Ah! I got logged out, but it's fine. Let's check out Mariel's skin now that we're back here. We're getting it for free on JP, which makes it a bit funny that they're making it paid, but this is definitely a skin that's... It's clean. It's so clean. It's worth it, to be honest. I mean, you get some other rewards, and obviously that's not all you're getting, but Yeah, there is that. So let's go into the limited challenges first. So World Boss got a major buff, and now this is a 10 out of 10 update that they've done. So funny enough, this morning I did, I'm like, damn, it's so shit my run. I'm gonna be fucking like 100th or something, and I was first. In the morning I was first. Now they beat me using my team, but you know, whatever. Copycats, doesn't matter. So I will probably be able to get much higher if I play it a lot better. So that is good to know. Now, what have they done? So you can get the substats, right? That's all great. You shouldn't touch any of this. Now, you get 10 LR gear selection boxes. Now, in a day, I've gotten 600 coins. So I could say maybe in a week or so, like, you're getting about 4,200. So you should be able to buy this out completely. You can get all 10, completely transcend one piece at least. But what's even better is that they have the crafting for 200. So about every day I should be able to get 3 of these. Now, why is that good? Why is that good for the world boss? Okay, let's talk about it. This is actually, in my opinion, a amazing addition. If we go to craft gear, all the gear pieces, the upgraded gear pieces are here. Now, yes, it costs gold, 100%, and 10 crystals. Oh my god. But still, you get it guaranteed. So for a lot of people, a lot of earlier people, this is not going to be a bad thing at all. And the 200 coins for that should be pretty good. Now, where the disappointing part comes in is the charge rewards. Now, the game, I could imagine, is going to be pretty fun. You can see here, everyone's going to have buffs. Now, the problem is, actually, no. Okay, so you can see the buffs actually get better. So there's, yes, there's 4 different types of buffs. Waves 1 to 3 share the same buffs, but get the buffs increased from 1 to 3. Then 4 to 6, the same thing. And then 7 to 9, the same thing. But, okay. Then 10 is also its own type of buff, which is a 60% damage reduction buff. The problem is the units are not that good. So I would have honestly liked looking at the buffs for them to be even stronger. But I think what they intended this for is not, okay, unfortunately not for endgame people. I think this would have been very cool if they did it to where it was maybe a permanent mode every month where it was ranked. I think charge could be insane, right? It could be really fun. And if they made this more late game, I think that would have been nice, right? To where the units are harder to fight. Because, like, you know, some of these teams might be a bit annoying, like with Black Asta, but it's nothing, like, insane. This team's just going to be annoying, right? Because they're going to get healed all the time. And then it's Black Asta. Because of the buff, they're going to get healed. So we'll have to see. I'm going to try it out in a bit. We're going to try it out on video when I have the time. But. It's still not bad. Now, the problem is the rewards. Okay, so we saw here there's nothing too crazy. I guess you get an SSR to LR accessory that you could get. No upgraded pieces, no like magic attack percent. But the problem is this. The best rewards is this. Accessory like enhancement, which honestly for some of them is not bad. It's just that it's random. So like this 7% magic attack, you could get it. It's just going to be difficult. But overall, actually, I do like this. Reason being is because the only other way besides that to get it, I think is in Squad Arena, right? To like get a guaranteed way. So there, do we still see it? That's Squad Challenges. Do they still show it though? They should. Yes, these are selective, right? These are selective, but still, it's nice that they're giving it through the charge game mode. So I think it's not a bad thing. It's just not as good as I maybe would have liked it to be. But this also does give accessory summon chest UR to LR. So I think that for earlier players, like this is actually a really good system. Like, charge, in my opinion, should have been something more for late game because of how difficult it was. I feel like they should have maybe geared it more towards end game, but I'll see how exactly it plays. Maybe it is actually really difficult, but if it is, the rewards should be better for sure. But if it's something that's simple, you know, it's all right, then in my opinion, then it's fine. Okay, now next up, we have the 3 new gear sets. We've got the speed one. Okay, this is a speed increase when you use your ultimate. Okay, this one is, I think, the counterattack one. It's basically, you get damage reduction if you have counterattack with the 2-piece, and then damage increase when you perform a counterattack on the 4-piece, which you should only use the 2-piece if you do go for it. And then this one is going to be giving crit rate and increased damage when you use the skill 1, depending on 2-piece and 4-piece. So those are the 3 new sets. Nothing new here, which is good. Now, my problem is that they purposefully did something. So, unless it was a bug, you are only able to do 3 attempts per day in total, not per dungeon. They made it seem, because they updated the UI to be exactly like JP, that you could do 3 attempts per day. But no, you can only do 3 attempts total. This is a bit of an improvement because before you could only do it in 1 dungeon. But now you can do it in like 1 in each dungeon if you want. But the problem is, it's still just as hard to get this. they did increase and buff this, right? They buffed the crafting. They buffed the crafting. But we still cannot do 9 runs total. On JP, we could do 3 attempts in this, 3 attempts in this, and 3 attempts in this in the same day. Of course, it is stamina heavy, but it is still going to allow you to get more gear and be a lot better because of the fact that you can only get one of these every 3 days. We only have 5. You can only get one every 3 days. And this is one of the best gear sets that you want to max transcend. And one of the best ways that I got it was through the crafting gear. So if they're not going to have the gear crafting with this set, then they should at least put it in here where you could do every single dungeon 3 times. These gear sets are great though. That's the thing. It sucks that they still haven't fixed the fact that you can't do each dungeon 3 times. But this gear set, not this one, this gear set is still going to be very good. Okay, this is going to be a buff for a lot of DPSs who use their ultimates. 10% speed increase is very good. Just 10% completely changes the game and definitely is going to be good to farm the red power dungeon advanced one the most. Still, it sucks. I'm not the biggest fan of that for sure. Now, a bunch of other content. People are like, oh, there's not much content. There is Charge, there is World Boss. 2 things that you should definitely do, especially World Boss for all the gear updates. But there's so much other stuff that we could actually see. So, of course, they have certain stuff. But there's the half anniversary celebration bingo event, which is going to have a half annie bingo box, which we're going to see later. But besides that, there's going to be squad boss in 3 days. There's going to be raid in 6 days after that. Event arena 4 days after that. Spire of Honor 3 days after that. And then Plate Kinda 4 days after that. So there's going to be content until the end of the season. And I like how they're spacing it out. I think this is way better. And honestly, it's very nice to not just spam us. So good on them. And then Squad Arena at the end of the season. So literally every second of the season, there's going to be something to do. So big W. Okay. Now they have optimized certain things that I think is going to be very important. All right. Now, first of all, the biggest thing for me, and I think a lot of whales at least, is the fact that you can see the talents and all the talents you have. So definitely very important, because sometimes we just don't know what we have and what we don't have, but now we get to see it. So that is huge. Okay, so you're able to even switch it as we go. Now, another thing is that they increased the amount of gear pins, which especially for me is going to be good as I can put more support ones. But there's an extra 10, I believe. I'm pretty sure, but there's up to 20 now. I think it went from 12 to 20, so that's great. And then finally, in terms of quality of lives, there is this where you could actually put up 5 teams. So, you know, little things like that to me are really good and help the game thrive greatly. So definitely not bad at all, and all really good stuff. Most of what they added is great. It's just not as great as it could have been, but everything they added to me is very good. I give this a 8 out of 10 update for an update that could have been 9 out of 10. All right, if they had Charge give more rewards, if it seemed to be a bit more difficult, I'm saying this, I'm judging the book based on the cover right now, I know. But right now, just looking at the units, it shouldn't be too much of a challenge for me. Okay, it could be a 9 out of 10 update for you guys because Charge might be more difficult and it might be fun. But for me, it should not be that difficult, which means it's not fun, right? I need something to be difficult or challenging or provide competitiveness, which Charge doesn't seem to have any at the moment. Because they did reduce heavily how big the buffs were. Because on JP, the main problem was that, first of all, not enough time to build up gear sets. Second of all, the buffs were too strong. But now they maybe nerfed it a bit too much, we'll see. Now, World Boss, the problem is, well, mainly it's the gear. So, like, you can't craft that gear set. And if you could craft it, I wouldn't be a stickler too much for having to have 9 runs total. But you want to get one of these every day. Like, you can't be waiting 10 days. Sorry, you can't be waiting 30 days to get one piece max transcended. So they have to fix it in some way to be able to get that set one way or another, okay? That is a big thing in my opinion. Now, certain things we could actually talk about. First of all, the half anniversary box. It seems that this is what we're going to be getting from the bingo. So, you know, it looks pretty cool. JP is also getting one for the first Annie. So we'll see how exactly it is. But I mean, if this is what we get from bingo, which it seems to be, that's going to be good. Now, something very big, and this is something I want to stress. Global seems to be getting their own global exclusive game mode, or global first game mode at the very least. Now, why do I say this? Because first of all, these files are not on JP. And second of all, I mean, it just, JP's getting so much, I think they might get it later. But for right now, it does seem that it's going to be a global first. So we can see here, kind of looks like the, landscape and all that from the Royal Knights. And then we got something kind of resembling that. And then this with, like, kind of a crown, right? The king, obviously, the king hosting it. And then we got this, right? for the kind of like Clover symbol with some stuff in the background that's more like royalty. Now it's a main event. Okay, main event. Now what does that mean? It's gonna be like the summer event. Okay, so the summer event that gave us the summer Asta, and then when it returned, what did it give when it returned? A bunch of good gear, right? So a bunch of good gear. It's going to be like that, and it's called Royal. So this to me screams it's a Royal Knights type of game mode. Maybe we're going to be competing against stuff in a tournament type of thing. Maybe it's going to be like a bot type of thing where you know how like in Dragon Ball games like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and also Raging Blast 2 where you kind of like fight off certain teams and then you get to the top and like try and win. Maybe it's going to be like that. And yeah, this is going to be a game mode that was in the global files, seemingly for global first. Insane. Okay, if you want the other game modes and stuff that that was shown, go check out my other video, but this is mainly for global stuff that we're talking about. And then there's this, right? So like all that good stuff. Now, two big things. Global will be getting the Super Premium Battle Pass, which gave JP a universal mage dupe at the end of the battle pass on JP. It just came out, but it seems it's coming next season, which means that we might be getting our battle pass updated because the battle pass on JP actually gives a universal skill page at the end of the premium battle pass, not the super premium one, the premium one. So it's very possible that this is updated to give a universal skill page dupe, which would help a lot of people. Now, Global should be getting super talent stones next season, and this is gonna actually be very good. Okay. I would like to pull JP up for this. I finally got in. So let's explain what exactly this super talent stone is. And it's actually really good. So let's talk about it. And reset just hit, I think. If not, it's in an hour. But if we check here, okay. They have this thing where you're able to convert upwards. So 5 green becomes 1 yellow. 5 yellow becomes 1 purple, and then 3 purple becomes the super talent stone. So let's talk about this first. Why is it so good? Because so many people are gonna have greens and yellows that they're gonna be able to convert up, which means that now it seems they will be offering for free to plays the ability to convert the greens and yellows into +3 speeds and otherwise everything else like HP, crit res, and it might be able to put people a bit more on a leveling playing field, which is very good if they actually do that. Because for them to add this super talent stone to global, it would mean they would have to add this system in. So insanely good. Now the problem is if they actually don't add any of this and only add this top part, then it becomes one of the shittiest things I've ever seen added to a gacha game, because it takes 3 purples, and if they have this 3 purple thing without you being able to craft upwards from green to yellow and yellow to purple, then it's gonna suck, because I could see them doing that and then I would hate it. But if they add all of this part, then it's great. And what exactly is this super talent engraving stone? So basically, let's say I use 3 speeds to craft this super talent stone. After that, I will randomly get 50-50 chance, either crit res or HP as the other stat. So that a super talent stone will then have 2 stats. Insane. Okay. So I actually just got my second one. And right now I'm not really using a team, but I am really liking mono blue. So let's say I put it on Nozel. Well, okay, let's take this off. And I just got my second one. Very fortunate of me. Speed plus HP. Now, what else I'm able to do is actually choose the 2 that I want to have. So I do want blocking, but I don't really care about the SP one. I would like to get the cooldown. So let's say these 2. Overall, these are the 2 best ones. But let's say I wanted to change it up. I could actually just switch it. So I could switch it however I want to make it that this slot becomes now the resistance. And honestly, I would rather the resistance. So let's say here for the blocking, I could now put this. So it switches spots however I want it with the purple talent stones. So now you're able to switch it however you like with the super engraving stones alongside adding the extra double stats. So that's what it would be. So my guess is that it will actually be very influential and it will actually be important. Okay. So please do keep that in mind. The talent stone should be added next season, which will be half anniversary. So half annie will have a lot of stuff added, which is very nice. Especially the Royal Knights is something I'm very, very, very excited for. So let's keep that all in mind when we think about the little lackluster parts of this season. We should be getting a new game mode, probably some other stuff that JP is going to get too. We might be getting real-time arena at the same time. We'll see everything. I'll see you guys in the next one. Let me know what you think of this update, and peace.